Ja, wir sind hier in der Schweiz, in Zürich bei Whisky Music. I'm with Corey from Irish whiskey brand. What's the brand and where are you from?
Yeah, so this is McConnell's Irish Whiskey. It's a Belfast-based brand, one of the oldest whiskey brands to come from Ireland, founded all the way back in 1776, so nearly 250 years ago. I just got here to Switzerland last night from Belfast, my first time here. Really excited to start and showcase our brand.
Okay, very interesting. And you brought us some nice whiskies to Switzerland. What do you have? What's the range about?
So our core range is comprised of two separate whiskies, which are these two bottles. This one is our signature. It's a blended Irish whiskey comprised of 40% Irish single malt, 60% Irish grain whiskey. 5 years old, all 5 years spent in first fill ex-bourbon barrels and bottled at 42% ABV. So this is your real traditional light, sweet Irish whiskey. In Ireland, we call this one breakfast whiskey, because you can have it any time of the day. It's perfect with your cornflakes in the morning. This one then jumps up a little bit in terms of its complexity. It's a sherry cask finish, 5 years in first fill bourbon casks, and then up to 1 year matured in Oloroso sherry. This one's bottled at 46% ABV. It's non-chill filtered as well, so a little bit more complexity going on. And very recently at the Irish Whiskey Awards, just a couple of weeks ago, this came away with the winning medal in the category of the best blended Irish whiskey with an age statement on the bottle, which is a huge category, and this was number one.
And you have also something very special for the Swiss market now, very new.
So this one at the minute is the only bottle in the whole of Switzerland, but we will be limiting it to just 36 bottles in the whole of Switzerland. It is a 20-year-old single malt Irish whiskey. It was released in April this year. It's limited to around 300 bottles in the whole of Ireland, but as I say, only 36 for the whole of Switzerland. 19 years spent in first fill ex-bourbon barrels, and its final 18 months finished in tawny port casks.
Amazing.
It's bottled at 51.2% ABV. It is absolutely beautiful whiskey, and as I say, it's the first release in a series to come of single malt Irish whiskies from the McConnell's brand. The series will be called the Old Crummock Collection. So, number one, time to get your hands on a bottle.
Ja, bei mir ist Oliver Streckeisen von Divisa. Hi Olli.
Servus Johannes.
Ja, und wir haben heute hier besonderen Whisky habt ihr am Start, Goldwäscher. Wie ist die Geschichte entstanden? Was hat es damit auf sich?
Also wir haben 2018 angefangen, Roggen zu destillieren für Whisky. Das heißt, wir destillieren zweimal wie die Schotten. Wir lagern in frischen, neuen Eichenfässern wie die Amerikaner.
Und ihr seid auch nominiert zum Whisky Time-Autor of the Year, Best Whisky National. Kannst du schon absehen, wie das ausgehen wird oder was eure Chancen sind?
Du, da habe ich keine Ahnung, ganz ehrlich, das ist total offen. Ich bin sehr gespannt und würde mich natürlich freuen, wenn es für uns reichen würde.
Okay, schön. Und ihr macht auch jedes Jahr einen Single Cask mit dem Goldwäscher. Wie läuft das ab?
Also wir machen jedes Jahr 2 Single Casks. In denen verwenden wir nur gemälztes Roggendestillat. Und das ist fast einzigartig. Es gibt es weltweit kaum, nur ganz selten. Und die sind immer sehr individuell vom Geschmack her, gehen alle in eine ähnliche Richtung. Aber im Großen und Ganzen ist jedes Fass, wie bei allen Single Casks, für sich einzigartig.
Sehr schön. Und es kommt auch gut an bei der Schweizer Barkeeper-Szene, oder?
Ja, vor allem der Goldwäscher, der zum Mixen da ist. Das ist eigentlich der neueste. Der besteht aus 30% First-Fill-Fasslagerung und 70% circa Second-Fill-Fasslagerung, also wo schon einmal Goldwäscher drin war. Und das ist ein sehr leichter, fruchtiger Whisky, der sich optimal gut eignet zum Mischen von Cocktails wie Manhattan, Sazerac oder Boulevardier oder ein Whisky Sour, ein Swiss Whisky Sour. Und das kommt sehr gut an bei den Leuten, ja.
Ja, bei mir ist die Heidi von der Whisky Store, also von dem Whisky Shop in der Schweiz. Heidi, wo kommst du her?
Von Rapperswil, auf der anderen Seeseite von Zürich. Genau.
Sehr schön. Und gibt es euch schon lange? Was zeichnet euch aus?
Also Ende Jahr wird das 10 Jahre sein, dass ich den Whisky Store habe in der Altstadt von Rapperswil. Genau, und ich bin wirklich spezialisiert auf Single Malt Whiskys. Also ich habe etwa mittlerweile über 600 schottische Single Malt Whiskys. Ja, auch viele Independence-Abfüllungen. Genau, natürlich auch Rum und anderes, aber ganz ist ein kleiner Laden, wirklich spezialisiert auf Spezialabfüllungen, genau.
Ja, sehr spannend, klingt sehr gut. Und ihr habt auch hier die neue Ausstattung von Bled noch, relativ neu in der Schweiz.
Genau, ja, also Lowlands, muss man sagen, wird leider etwas vergessen bei den Regionen und das sind ganz coole, noch gibt es eigentlich schon länger. Jetzt sind gerade 2 neue Abfüllungen rausgekommen. Das wäre anstelle vom 11-jährigen First Fill Bourbon ist jetzt neu ein 13-jähriger First Fill Bourbon rausgekommen und anstelle vom 14-jährigen Oloroso Sherry Cask ist jetzt ein neuer 16-jähriger Oloroso Sherry Cask gekommen. Ja. Genau.
Blättnoch ist ja auch bekannt für eine schöne Sherry-Reifung, richtig intensive Noten.
Absolut, richtig nussig, karamellig, eine leichte Würzigkeit noch und alle sind mit 46,7 Volumen abgefüllt und trotzdem extrem komplex im Gaumen und ja, das ist eine ganz schöne Abfüllung, ja.
Yeah, I'm here in Switzerland at a fair Whisky Music. What are you doing and where are you from?
So my name is Ailey. I am from the Isle of Haddis, which is a small island on the northwest coast of Scotland. And I am here with our importer Orma, and I'm here to showcase the first ever single malt whisky from the Isle of Haddis, the Heroch.
Sounds very interesting, and you brought us some nice whiskies. What do you have today here in Switzerland?
So I have the first ever single malt whisky, as I said, from the Isle of Haddis, which is called the Heroch. This is the first release from our distillery, which was in September 2023, so just a year it's been on the market. And this one here is our 100% matured in first fill Oloroso cask, which was released last month. So it's new to the market and it's really exciting to bring it here to Switzerland. Both very delicious and hopefully a new character and new distillery for people to discover.
Yeah, it has a very nice color also, the whiskey. How old is this?
So both of them are non-age statement. The distillery opened in 2015 and we started distilling there. So the Heroch here, non-age statement as I said, but is between the ages of 4 and 6. And the Oloroso here is just slightly over between the ages of 5 and 7.
Okay. Ja, wir sind hier am Stand von Säntis Malt und ich habe die Angie getroffen. Hi Angie, was machst du bei Säntis Malt?
Ich arbeite im Aussendienst, bin zuständig für Gastronomie und Retail in der ganzen Schweiz.
Spannend, da hast du gut zu tun sicherlich. Und ihr habt auch eine neue, schöne Abfüllung dabei. Was ist das Besondere an diesem Whisky?
Genau, das ist unser Neuheit 12. Wir haben jedes Jahr eine andere Edition. Das kommt immer Ende September raus. Dieses Jahr haben wir eine Edition mit Orangenschale im Finish. Zuerst in den Bierfässer gelagert und dann kommt es in das Finish im Orangen Weinfass hinein. Perfekte Harmonie zwischen Tradition und etwas Neues.
Yes, I'm here at the Whisky Music Festival in Zurich and I'm with a very interesting person from Adnaho. What's your name and what are you doing?
Thank you. It's nice to be here in Zurich at the Music and Whisky Show. My name's Andrew Lang. I'm here representing my family company, Hunter Lang and Company, and our distillery on Isla, the Ardnaho Distillery, which is the newest distillery on the island of Isla. We opened the doors and started distilling whiskey in 2018. So we filled the first casks in November 2018, which means we now have 6 years old whiskey maturing in our warehouse. And I'm pleased to be pouring to the attendees here our new core release, the core release from the Ardnaho Distillery, which is named the Infinite Loch. Okay. Infinite Loch is a reference to the water source that we use, Loch Ardnaho, which is, we believe, the deepest loch on the island of Isla, which is very useful to have access to when we're making whiskey. And it's a wonderful 5 years old whiskey. Matured, 85% of the whiskey in the bottle is matured in first fill bourbon casks, and the remainder in first fill Oloroso sherry casks. It's 40 ppm malted barley we're using in the distillation, and it's bottled at 50% alcohol. And of course, like all our whiskies, without any artificial colouring or chill filtration. So it's really a lovely fruity, smoky, typical Isla style of whiskey, but with the smoke and the peat in a nice balance. Okay.
Yeah, sounds very interesting, and also with 50%, you are very high alcohol voltage.
50% is our preferred bottling strength, really, from our independent bottling side of our business. Our old malt cask series of whiskies has, for the last 26 years, been released at 50% alcohol. It's a strength we're very comfortable with. We believe it allows a nice level of mouthfeel and flavour delivery without being overpowering in the alcohol. And so when we decided to launch our own Ardent Whole single malt, we felt we would stick with that 50% strength. And it's been quite well received by the connoisseurs and by the enthusiasts so far.
Very interesting. And now the whiskies are in Switzerland, where the people can get them.
We're quite well represented in Switzerland. Our distributor's shop, we work very well with the selection trade here in Zurich, and they have the shop, Whisky Shop Neuheit. So I would certainly suggest that's the first port of call. But we are also well represented in other high quality, good spirits stores throughout Switzerland, from Zurich, Lucerne, and Geneva, and elsewhere.
We are here at Whisky Music in Zurich and I have a special guest. Where are you and where are you coming from?
Hi, so my name is Joe Clark and I am Whisky Director at Spirit of Yorkshire Distillery, where we make Filey Bay whiskey.
And you're coming from England?
That's right, yeah. I arrived on Wednesday to Switzerland, flying from Manchester, here to do some tastings with some customers, and then of course attend the Whisky Music Festival and the Whisky Time Awards.
And you brought also some nice whiskies from England?
Yeah, we always bring nice whiskies, and we're absolutely thrilled, amazed how well we're doing in Switzerland, how many people like what we're making. So yeah, we just launched our Sherry Cask Reserve number 5, and this arrived in Switzerland on Monday this week, just in time for the show. So yeah, we've got a glass of this now, if you want to taste it.
Nice color, yeah.
Yeah. So matured in Pedro Jimenez Sherry and ex-Moscatel. One of only 3 special releases we do each year. Just 2,000 bottles, and Switzerland is the first market outside of the UK to get this whiskey. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And you brought also something really special, a peated finish. It's nominated for the Whisky Time for our awards.
Yeah, so this whiskey, we were thrilled, delighted to see that it had made the shortlist for Best International Whiskey of the Year in Switzerland. So yeah, we're going to find out pretty soon, in a few hours, whether or not we've won. There's some stiff competition on there, the likes of Lagavulin in 16 and Bamor 18. So yeah, we're going to see how we do. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that we'll get that award, yeah.
Sure, thank you very much. And you're also doing masterclass here, tasting?
Yeah, so most times when we're attending a show in Switzerland, make sure we try and give people the opportunity to learn more detail about what we're doing, how we make whiskey. It's a bit unusual to other distilleries because we don't just make whiskey, we grow barley. So you can learn all about how we grow barley and make whiskey, yeah.